only 24 countries recognized the mass killings and deportation of Armenians for what it was, the events that would coin the term genocide. On April 24, 1915, the Ottoman government in what is modern-day Turkey began a two-pronged extermination of its Armenian population. Able-bodied males were massacred or subjugated into forced labor. Women, children, and the elderly were forced into exile through the Syrian desert. The Armenians subject to the death marches experienced rape, murder, and robbery as their Ottoman military escorts looked the other way. While Armenians took the brunt of the persecution, other ethnicities in the crumbling empire, such as Assyrians and Greeks, were also subject to the same systematic annihilation. On September 3, 1915, Ambassador Morgenthau telegraphed the U.S. State Department asking for the formation of a relief organization to help the Armenian people. James L. Barton, Foreign Secretary to the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions, and Cleveland Dodge, a New York City businessman, created the American Committee for Armenian and Syrian Relief. The initial response raised $60,000 in direct relief, food, clothing, and shelter. They would come to raise more than $116 million, what would today be nearly $2 billion. By an act of Congress, this committee would be incorporated in 1919 as Near East Relief. More than 1,000 Americans would come to the aid of the Armenian, Syrian, and Greek people under the banner of Near East Relief. Money from the committee was sent to Morgenthau, who distributed it to a network of American diplomats, missionaries, and medical personnel, who used an infrastructure of existing missionary schools and other buildings as relief centers, hospitals, and orphanages. Information would return to the United States from Americans in the Ottoman Empire about the continued atrocities committed there. After the end of World War I saw an Ottoman defeat, the committee continued to work with refugees in what was then called Palestine, in modern-day Iraq and Iran, and into the Caucasus Mountains. Of special interest to the committee were the thousands of orphans who had lost their parents to disease and violence. The end of the war didn't end the persecution in Turkey. As the genocide continued, Near East Relief's efforts continued as well. The fund and awareness raising went on, as the committee used posters and motion picture mass media to get their message to the American public. Near East Relief orphanages were designed with modern medical care in mind, including wards for emotional trauma. Girls were taught to make handicrafts that would be sold in the United States, while older girls could be sent to a Near East Relief nursing school. Boys would learn trades to prepare them for a life after the orphanages. The children would either be reunited with their parents, if possible, or placed in the care of a family with the same nationality and religion. When war broke out between Greece and the newly formed Republic of Turkey, Near East Relief would be caught in the middle. The orphanages and refugee centers continued to take in new people, saved those affected by the war, and established more hospitals and clinics. Eventually, Turkey would come to stop protecting Near East Relief orphanages. So Near East Relief's new mission would be to evacuate 15,000 children across the Aegean Sea while helping 300,000 others escape Turkey. Under the new Turkish government, Near East Relief was expelled from Turkey and set to its work in Greece, Syria, what is now Lebanon, and the Russian Caucasus regions. In an effort to create more permanent changes in the development of the region, in 1930, Near East Relief became the Near East Foundation, dedicated to long-term economic and technical assistance. Since then, the Near East Foundation has worked in 40 countries over the span of a century. Today, the Near East Foundation has projects in Sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East, Armenia, and North Africa. No longer just a relief organization, the Near East Foundation's work addresses post-conflict reconstruction while combating climate change, food insecurity, resource conflicts, gender-based violence, refugee suffering, and more. Our response to the Armenian Genocide shaped who we are as an organization and as a nation. The idea that average people could make a difference in a faraway place started in 1915. It is a part of who we are today.